Hey family, so someone asked me to do another garden hack video, and it's funny because there's just so many things that I do in the garden. I don't think of them as hacks. There's just things that I do to make my gardening life a lot easier. But I'm going to show you guys a few of the things that I do, and to make my day or my work in the garden go a little easier. And hope you guys can find use for them in your gardens too. So I'm going to start first with the big planter box over here. So let's get started. Good morning, family. Good morning, family. Don't forget, grow some trees, grow some food, grow something. Let's get started. You guys can see a lot has changed here over the past year since I did the last garden hack video. And the box is completely different now, completely planted. And I just want to apologize up front because my neighbors are doing construction, so you're going to hear some power tools coming in and out this morning. But this is another product of the 99-cent only store, and they are these little shade cloths. These are perfect when you don't need to put up a giant cloth, because with the temperatures that we're having right now in the 90s and the hundreds, my plants need to get full sun, but the sun is just a little too harsh. So when I add this tiny little cover, all I do is just drape it over the top, and it gives me just the right amount of shade that I need for these plants without having to put up a giant structure or, a big canopy just to cover these. And like I said, these are at the 99-cent only store. They are only 99 cents. And, they're just a little plastic. They're not very strong, but I don't need them to be for what I use them for. Because like I said, I just drape them over my plants, and it makes it a lot easier. I don't have to worry about them weighing the things, the plants down, breaking stems or anything like that, because they are super lightweight. And just drape them across there, and it does the job. Lets just the right amount of UV rays in to get to your plants to get them the sun that they need. They're also thin, so you can also water through them also, and it keeps the airflow going through there, so it doesn't block any of the airflow either. So here's another one. If you guys saw my video from last year on garden hacks, on the Dollar Tree garden hacks, you saw me cover my strawberry tower with a laundry bag. Well, if you watch to the end, then you know that the squirrels chewed through the bags. It worked wonders for the birds, but not for the squirrels. So I don't buy tomato cages for my tomatoes anymore. I actually buy the wire fencing, and I make my own cages. So one day I was out here and I was doing that, and I decided to, I'm gonna make a cage for my strawberries. So I put this cage together. The wire is really easy. It just bends, and formed it into a cage. And then I added the same bird netting around, because these holes are big enough for the squirrels to get through. They don't get through these, but they do these. And I put the bird netting around it, and you know what? I have not had a problem since. The cage simply just lifts off and goes right back on. The bottom part is open, so it just lifts up over it. And the grandkids have been able to get every single strawberry since I've built this cage. The cage goes all the way around, and it's pretty much made from leftover pieces of the fencing that I had. So it didn't really cost me any money because I already had it. And like I said, just took all these leftover pieces. As you can see, I think this is like 4 pieces up here. And just put it together. These pieces up here are just held together with zip ties, even though I could have just did the same thing with these leftover sharp pieces and just turn it under. But it was easy. Took me less than 10 minutes. And then, like I said, I just simply wrapped it with the bird netting. The places where the bird netting didn't hold, I just took some little twisty ties and stuck it on there. Cheap and easy. You got an old water hose that's bending, breaking, got points in it where it's leaking. Don't throw it away. Take an ice pick or an auger and do this. See that hole? I'm gonna add more. I have a section of my lawn that the plants have grown up and they are blocking the sprinklers. So the sprinklers aren't hitting this section and the gophers are tearing it up. So this is why I poked holes in this old hose. So as you can see, it is working as a sprinkler for me and a soaker hose. I'll probably poke a few more holes in there and make some bigger holes, but right now it's doing the job. I got some shooting straight up, some shooting outward. But for now, I am getting my money's worth out of this old hose and extending its lifespan. I'm also upcycling or recycling, and I'm keeping all of this rubber out of the landfills for at least another couple of years. Do your job, honey. Ladies, if you ever find yourself having to move things on your own, don't cry. Look for a piece of cardboard, an old blanket, something. Slide the object onto it, like I just moved this apple tree, and pull the cardboard or the blanket. All right, so if you're anything like me, you buy these stakes a lot. They're simply just green garden stakes and they're covered in this plastic, but they're really useful for a lot of things. The problem is I'm kind of rough with things, and you know, when I want it in or out, I just kind of yank and pull on these things and end up breaking them. But don't throw them away. I've done this video before. It was on a 2-minute garden hack, but I'm going to show you guys what I use them for. So it's kind of bright out here right now, but I take the broken pieces and I use them on the landscape lights. If you've ever bought these little plastic solar lights, you know they come with these little plastic pegs that go down in the ground, and the only thing that sticks out is like a little round circle. Well, if they ever get knocked off, covered over, or anything, they're kind of hard to find. So I take the broken pegs, I drive them down into the ground, and I put my landscape lights on top of those. It makes it a lot sturdier. You don't have to worry about knocking them over or anything. And you don't have to spend any money buying those replacement pegs that are about $9, because you already have something that you can use. So if you're like me and you put egg cartons in your compost, you know that it takes a while for them to break down. They soak up a lot of the moisture, and they're kind of bulky when you're trying to flip. So I've learned to soak them really well before I put them in the compost. This causes them to break apart. They're not sucking up all the moisture in the compost, and it makes them a lot easier to handle. I do the same thing with the drink carriers that you get from like fast food places and things like that. Take those and I soak them really well also before I toss those in there too. Paper towel holders, all those type of things, I actually cut those down into little rings. Like I said, it makes it a lot easier for them to break down in there too. So the last tip I want to give you guys is water shoes. Yes, water shoes. If you guys are like me, I go through several pairs of gardening shoes a year. And this year, I really love that there are so many styles out now that are just either completely rubber or just, you know, waterproof shoes that you can just hose off. And one of the things I found this summer are these water shoes. They look like tennis shoes. They have holes in them for lots of air circulation. And you know what? They are completely rubber. Rubber. Even the insides, completely rubber. All you do, you can wear these things and they get all dirty and muddy, you just hose them off and they still look exactly the same. As you can see, these are brand new. I haven't worn these pairs yet, but these guys come in pink, yellow, black. Here I have the gray, the blue, and the khaki green. And like I said, they look like tennis shoes. You don't have to worry about them falling off your feet when you put on things like, you know, Crocs and slides, flip-flops. They actually cover your feet, so it gives you a little bit more protection without having you all sweaty and, you know, smelly feet at the end of the day. And not like tennis shoes, you don't have to worry about you know, tearing them up or throwing them in the washing machine or, you know, having to clean them. These guys just hose off and you're on about your day. You can actually go from the garden to the beach to the pool, wherever. And they're inexpensive. So I think these were $10.99. I think these were actually on clearance for $8.50. So you can be cute and fashionable in the garden for a cheap price. So don't forget, water shoes, guys, water shoes. All right, guys, so if you are here to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me. And once again, like I said, these are just things that I do in my garden. I never thought of them as hacks or anything like that. But these are things that I usually have around the house. I've been using these things for years. And, you know, I just thought they were just things to do. I never thought of them as hacks. So until someone asked me to share, and I did. So thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't done already, please hit subscribe, hit like, and comment down below. It helps me out a lot. Hit that notification bell so that you will know when I upload the next video. So thank you guys once again for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.